Health. In recognition of the National Public Health Week, Fargo Cast Public Health will host a spring open house at their location today until 7 p.m. Activities include kids dance, food safety, blood pressure screenings, and youth kickboxing, just to name a few. The event is free and open to all ages. They have free COVID tests there as well, as far as Narcan as well. This is the Adolescent Immunization Action Week, a great time to make sure teens are up to date with important immunizations, which are safe and effective, and time to start protecting teens before they're likely to be exposed to serious, potentially life-threatening disease such as meningitis, tetanus, HPV-related cancers, COVID-19, and flu. Contact your healthcare provider or public health for information for your recommended vaccinations. They actually on site can tell you which ones you might need. Library. The 4th annual Northern Focus Photography Project starts today, and a region-wide photography project is up and coming recreational photographers. Photo submissions will be accepted through May 31st, and guidelines, rules, and information for all available at the library's website. One lucky artist will get their photograph on the front cover of Northern Narratives 2023. The craft supply swap is April 15th from noon to 4 in the downtown main library. Residents are encouraged to drop off new or gently used craft supplies such as thread, yarn, beads, craft kits, craft instruction books, fabric, and patterns. Those who donate craft items in advance will get an early entry ticket for the swap. Water power plant. Water Utility Director Troy Hall joined Bismarck Utility Operations Director Michelle Close as North Dakota Section representatives for the American Water Works Association matters fly-in to Washington, D.C. Troy and Michelle visited with the offices of Senator John Hoeven, Kevin Kramer, and Congressman Kelly Armstrong about national and state drinking water topics, including water infrastructure funding, cybersecurity, and source water protection. At the fly-in, AWWA was celebrating the 100th WIFIA loan. The FM diversion was one of the first 100 WIFIA loans, and Senator Hoeven was instrumental in helping secure the loan to make the FM diversion funding plan work. Troy and Michelle also met with EPA officials to discuss the new lead and copper rule requirements and associated federal funding. Of note, there were about 140 attendees at the fly-in, of which 3 were North Dakota UND graduates. North Dakota State University graduates, excuse me. I didn't want to get that wrong. And John, interesting enough, they did find there are some grants for lead piping in City of Fargo that Troy is going to look into, where we might be able to get funding of lead piping from the house to the curb, that we may be able to help some houses get rid of lead piping. Tonight we have another video from Fargo Cast Public Health. Pollinators play a vital role in pollinating around 70 to 80% of the flowering plants in Midwest region. Pollinators contribute to seed production and environmental factors such as filtering stormwater, providing wildlife habitat, and improving soil quality. Here's the ways you can help contribute to adding more pollinators to our community.
I would describe a pollinator as basically a home for bugs and for bees and different insects. And it builds that habitat so that then we as humans can continue to exist on Earth. There's many different kinds of pollinators. They can be used as like natural landscape. You don't need to get, the $40 flowers. You can just plant a native pollinator and they'll come back every year.
They're very important. Most of the food that we eat is pollinated by insects. Whether it's corn or soybeans or vegetables or, even apples and trees, even oak trees are pollinated by insects. So pollinators are very, very important. If we didn't have pollinators, we really wouldn't have a food system. It's kind of frightening a lot of times when we do install these native pollinator plants and how quickly the butterflies, the moths come. And that's kind of frightening because we're realizing that they don't have a lot of food. So we're giving them kind of a buffet, and ideally I would love to see a lot of private businesses, go to native landscaping. Another benefit of it too is that it's much less work.
With VTC, a lot of our individuals have physical and mental limitations, and they love to volunteer in our garden.
Watering them and taking good care of them every day. They really make the community look nice and pretty.
If you own property, and may not even own property, if you have an apartment even, we help cost share the plants and all the supplies to start your own pollinator plot. We can also help with the planning, where to put the plants. We just released a native plant guidebook, so we can help you plan that. We can give you, a lot of different advice, and then we also can source plants and seed, and we can certainly work with just about anybody.
There's a lot of ways too, like if you're interested in learning more about pollinators, come and check one out. Come and visit with the person that has the pollinator plant. They're very easy to take care of, and they're rewarding. So it's definitely worth at least checking out further.